I have to take a moment here because my mom is here tonight. And she has 2 types of lymphoma at the same time. It's already at stage 4. She's never heard me speak before. And she's still here. That's all I wanted to say. I'm going to take you on this crazy journey today, and it's basically a story about me chasing my small curiosity since I was a little kid. When I realized I can merge my passions for astronomy with photography, that was it. I would spend endless nights out in the middle of nowhere, out in Death Valley, trying to hunt down the darkest night skies I could away from light pollution. And for 10 years, I never printed a single image, never shown anybody this work. And then something happened in my life that changed everything. My dad died. I lost my dad.
It was one of the most amazing speeches I've ever heard.
Everybody was on the edge of their seat.
I always really looked up to him, and when he suddenly died, I became so mad at myself because I suddenly realized, wait, I'm never going to be able to share my work with him. Why have I kept this hidden my whole life and never done anything with these? So I decided, you know what? I'm going to finally learn the whole printing process. My first prints ever after 10 years, I wanted them to be the highest quality prints possible. My goal was to get them done in time for Dad's birthday on October 8th in honor of his first birthday without him.
It was truly just an extremely authentic story that I think everyone can relate to and take away from.
I was on the edge of my seat every second and every moment. We look for speakers who can inspire us to think outside of the box and to follow our own dreams, and he nailed it.
I was crying, I was clapping.
I honestly got chills. I felt really inspired to get back into my passions and find myself again.
I've taken a lot of partial eclipses before over the years, a lot of lunar eclipses, but a total solar eclipse where the moon completely blocks the sun all the way. That was the ultimate dream. I was 12 years old and Mrs. Thompson turned out all of the lights in the classroom. She had a student hold a flashlight across the room for the sun, and she started orbiting the moon around the Earth. And she said, every once in a while though, the moon will perfectly align in between the Earth and the sun. It's very rare, but if you're lucky enough and in the right place at the right time, you could be inside that moon shadow. But since that day, I was like, I'm gonna see that eclipse. And so over the years, I started thinking, what do you do? Where do you go for this once-in-a-lifetime moment? About 9 months before the eclipse, Alaska Airlines did this big announcement. Actually, Mom, you called me telling me about this. And so they finally announced the winner, but I lost. But right before giving up, I found one flight on Southwest Airlines. She said, thank you so much for your patience, ladies and gentlemen. There's actually a reason why we've delayed your flight today, to make sure that we'd be right inside the moon shadow. 20 minutes ago, I was literally in tears, thinking it's all gonna be over. And now all of a sudden, I find myself 20 minutes later, so grateful I'm not on that plane. Just think about this, 12-year-old me had this vision, and because I pursued this curiosity over 20 years, and because I got told no and got rejected, this was my result. So the next time something happens in your life that doesn't go the way you planned or the way you hoped for, you get rejected, you get told no, and you start telling yourself, I'm a failure, I suck. No, be grateful you got told no and got rejected, because that's not the path you're supposed to be on.
I have been going to this meeting for 30 years. I have to say that Jon Carmichael was probably one of, if not, the best speaker we've ever had.
See, when you make your team members feel like they are heard and that they have a voice, that they matter, that their perspective matters, that changes everything, because life is all about perspective. And sometimes the smallest change of perspective can make the greatest impact in your life.